All right, so I wanted to try and answer one of the most common questions that I get, and that's how much money do I need to trade? Um, my first video kind of introduced you into futures trading, and so this is going to hopefully break it down a little bit more. I generalize this information and just put random numbers here. I put starting balances, which is where you would start at, to hopefully give you a better understanding without I'm not flaunting what I make or what I do make, lose, whatever. One thing to note is, as you see here, depending on the account numbers, like each one of these numbers means that's probably how many of those accounts I bought. So one of the things that people ask me is, how much money do I need to trade? And what I can usually tell them is that the most important thing about it to me is that if any of you have tried to trade stocks, you know that you need either a lot of cash, a few thousand, in order to be able to do different trades, right? And it doesn't use up all your money. Or you actually need 25,000, right? Priority day trading restrictions, in order to be able to buy and sell the stock same day. If you enter a good position, you make a lot of money, or if you're in a bad position and you want to get out before you lose too much money. Um, the reason that I trade futures is basically what I've done is change into this focus of the ability to not have to invest thousands of dollars in the 5-digit figures. And the reason I say that is because I am still spending anywhere from 2, 3, 4,000 a month in accounts, not all at once. And I wait for sales, and that's information that you can get discord.gg/BMP trading, right? At any time you see on our server announcements, I will always let you know what's the best promotion, what's your best ability to get the best bang for your buck. But what I wanted to show everybody here was, I post every day, and I'm showing you guys, or saying, hey, making $4,000 or $5,000 a day. And the question is always, oh, well, can you really pull that money out? The answer is, you can, but you can't pull out every day. And that's going to vary with most companies. There are a few companies that allow you to have a daily payout, right? Because that's what withdrawing money is considered from these prop firms and this sim-funded, right? Simulated funds companies. But the important thing to note is that what I'm showing you is consistency and progression every day, right? And as you see here, this spreadsheet, although the balances have been set to essentially zero, there's different size accounts. And depending on how much money you want to spend, how aggressive you want to trade, then essentially what you buy, as I mentioned in my prior video, is you're buying drawdown. And that's the ability to go red. If anybody trades and they're an actual trader like myself, a day trader, they're going to tell you that you are not entering trades and immediately going green, positive, making money. Very many times you'll enter a trade and maybe you'll go negative $50 before you go positive $100. Maybe you'll go negative $1,000 before you go positive $1,200. And so that's what drawdown is, without getting too deep into it. And that's going to be something that, as you develop your trading strategy and style, you're going to determine what size account you need. Because do you have a need to make $1,000 a day? Is my $200 a day not enough for you, right? Is that strategy, is that method, is that amount of money insufficient? But one thing you'll notice is these 28 accounts, for example, that I run. If I do $200 a day or more, I'm not saying that I prevent myself from making more money, but once I hit my $200 goal, if the trade continues to go in my favor, of course, I will maximize on those profits. But if not, I just close the trade out and I'm done for the day. And I'll do that on 28 accounts. And that's a very good amount of money. Not only is that a good amount of money, these accounts need to hit a variety of balances, which is another bit of explanation that you see here, where it tells you your target balances, which kind of breaks down at which point in time these accounts are actually able to withdraw money, depending on the company, right? So this is one company here, Elite Trader Funding. They have different account types, different account prices. What you're seeing here on this list is it's showing you, in my case, all these accounts that I have are funded accounts, meaning I have passed the evaluation stage, right? So normally speaking, you buy what's called an evaluation, and that's over here. They have different types of evaluations for different prices. In this case, for example, tomorrow morning for news, I will be trading 100K evals. They cost me $26, right? I need to make $6,000, and I will basically go for what we call a lotto. I'm either going to pass or fail the account. I don't care. It's a $27 gamble, and you can have 5 of these funded accounts. So this is an evaluation. A funded account is the same thing. It resets the balance, but you build the same profit targets a second time to be able to withdraw. In this case, for a 100,000 account, right, it's $6,000 to pass the evaluation. So if tomorrow morning I am correct in my trade and I make the $6,000, then once I activate the account, which this comes with 1 month free of an activation, so it's literally just $27, then within that first month, if I make my 200 a day, which is 1,000 a week, and in 4 weeks I make $4,000, I can withdraw $1,000. Right, I told you I'm going to do 5, so that's literally right there an example in which I would invest $27 5 times, right, less than $150, and then I would trade this investment of 5 new accounts for just 4 weeks to withdraw $5,000. Right, and this has to do with just sales. This happens to be the sale right now, this type of account. The other accounts right now are more expensive. They don't bring that free month of the $80 activation, so I'm going to focus on, again, the best promotion at this time, which is going to be these fast track accounts, which I already have other accounts as well, but right now this is my new addition to my, I guess, portfolio. And so if these 5 accounts, I activate them, and in 4 weeks I hit my goal every day, as I have been, $200 since March, every single day, just $200 and done, less than an hour. You've seen it. I post it. Accountability is there. If I don't post, I didn't trade. And so essentially what I'm showing you guys is, do you want to skip this evaluation? Do you not have what it takes to, again, maybe you don't know when the news is going to be that's going to have that financial move that's going to allow you to pass the account immediately, make the $6,000 in the evaluation immediately. Now you're probably wondering, hey, if he can make $6,000 in seconds at 8:30 in the morning on news, why doesn't he just do that every day and make $6,000 times 28 accounts? Well, these companies all have consistencies in which there's a percentage in which you have to make generally the same amount of money throughout your, I wouldn't say career, but the payout window, right? So for example, Elite Trader Funding needs 8 trading days. Most companies need 8 to 10 days. And within that 8 to 10 days, you're trying to hit this profit target. And you have a percentage which basically controls you from doing exactly that. You can't just make the $6,000 in a day, because if you do, what ends up happening is now you need to make $24,000 within that payout window to stay within a 25% consistency. If this company had a 25% consistency, it varies from 20, 23%, 30%, 40%. Every company is different, which you'd find all this information readily available via my DMs if you're one of my mentees, my mentorship, and also some server announcement through the Discord. My Discord's free. It's big on education. This money, like I said, it's simulated funds. This money is coming from these companies. I have no reason to gatekeep or prevent you from literally replicating what I do. If I can make 20, 30 grand a month, it would have zero effect on me if you join my server, if you learned what I do, and you're able to do the same thing. I would make just the same amount of money. We're not trading the actual stock market. We're not investing in something that, the profits are limited. And so I have zero reason to prevent you from doing what I do, which is work an hour a day, 5 hours a week, and make a lot more money. But I wanted to answer everybody's questions because everyone is always asking me, how much money do I need? A lot of you ask me how much money you need, and when I mention, hey, I recommend $2,000, they're like, oh, well, you said the account's $27. Yeah, well, unless you know what you're doing, or you have somebody that's going to teach you, or even if I teach you, you're going to make mistakes. Trading is very, very, very heavily psychology based. 80% of trading is mental. Can you handle being right? Can you handle being wrong? And can you handle having to try again? So the important thing is, can you buy these evaluation accounts and try again and again and again and again? I went through hundreds of accounts. I used to lose $3,000-$4,000 a month trying to learn, teach myself, become a profitable trader. This did not happen overnight. This is not a scam. This is no, input this to receive this output. No, as I mentioned, and I'm very careful in how I speak about trading, is you're going to buy this account to potentially make this much money. But I know and I can prove and show that the potential is 100% real. The money itself that you withdraw is real. I have mentees that, I had college students that took on my mentorship, learned how to trade, and some of them knew how to trade potentially better strategies than me, but I was able to teach them some discipline, trader psychology, and they went from school loans to just, they weren't making 20,000 a month, but they were making 2-3,000 a month. And as a college student, hello, most of us were making, I don't know, maybe a few $100 a month. So that amount of money has enabled them to just not need school loans, right? And then from there, once they get out of school, then they can do whatever they want if they want to be a full-time trader. But this is just one company, one quick example, right? You have another option where instead of having to make the $6,000, for example, on this $100,000 account the first time to then trade it again and build it up to be able to withdraw money, you can buy what's called a straight to funded account. Straight to funded, direct to funded, already funded, bunch of different names. But as you see, the price premium is much higher because you're skipping a step, and so they charge you more money. But then the rules generally are the same, and really all you're doing is you're just paying for skipping that first stage of what's called an evaluation. Now there's different types of accounts. The fast track account, which I just showed you, there's static accounts, there's a diamond hands account, and as you see, all these prices vary, which is why depending on the promotion at the time, I can't tell you today that if you sign up a week from now, starting to trade is going to cost you this much, because they literally change the promotions every single day. And maybe today, I'll pay and activate an account. For example, I'll sit here and look, these are my expenses day in, day out, buying accounts, $17 on sale, activating them for $140. Then all of a sudden they drop the sale to $100, but I just paid the $140. Well, that's it. I mean, the promotions change. There's nothing I can do. Take Profit Trader, for example. This is $170 a month for this account, right? Because evaluation. So one thing that you guys need to understand too as well is that if you don't know what you're doing, you don't take on a mentorship, and you just think you're going to gamble and make money, this is how the companies win. 90%, 80% of traders fail. They fail horribly, and chasing this dream of being able to quit their job and, again, work an hour a day, 5 hours. That's if you do this under the wrong not intentions, but just the wrong mindset. I usually never recommend this to people who just lost their job and they can't afford their rent, mortgage is difficult. That's going to make, remember I said 80% trading psychology. So if you have to make money, you will not make money. That's my personal opinion, my personal experience. Once I stopped doing this under the pretext of needing to make money, and I just told myself, hey, I know that others can do it, why shouldn't I? I changed my approach of trying to force profit and force money. But again, just another example is these companies make money because one thing is these evaluations rebill monthly, right? And what do we know about a gym? Is that people literally sign up and forget about it. So if you buy these 5 accounts trying to become a millionaire overnight and you forget about it and you just let it rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, think about the thousands of hundreds of thousands of people that just pay for accounts left and right, or just the people that fail, consistently fail. Right, and it's not always just people that need money. I mean, you have people that are very successful and they want to learn how to trade, and they keep trying and trying and trying, and they're spending thousands. Now, when you go to all these companies, if you want to try and see what the best promotion is, code BMP will always give you whatever their best promotion is. Depending on the company, however, it's either BMP or Bossman Pena, and that will apply the best promotion that they have. However, I just realized the issue you see here is it's telling me in the background I cannot apply my own promotion code. Take Profit's promotion right now is 30% off. Some companies let you do it, they just don't let you check out, but again, 30%, right? So you get $51 off, about $120 for this evaluation. They're also doing no activation fee. Now, as I mentioned before, Apex will do a $17 account, but if you pass the evaluation stage, then you have a $140 activation fee. My Funded Futures does not have an activation fee, and then you have different prices here as well. With this one, you would use code Bossman Pena, and again, get the best deal available. That should raise a lot of questions for you guys, which is perfect. This is only video number 2. I didn't receive too many questions on video number 1. I am going to post this video, and I hope you guys have some questions, but I do also hope that this starts to answer and make it easier for you to understand what is it that I'm posting, what is it that I do, and what is it that I'm talking about, and just how much money do you need. So again, because I am trying to make pretty serious amount of money, I do have 28 accounts. But I would say that on average, that cost anywhere from 28 accounts cost me, I'd say on average at least $150. So you're looking at about a $5,000 investment. But I literally just got a payout approval from 2 of 28 accounts, and I just withdrew $1,500. Right, a few days ago. You know, I do random payouts as soon as the accounts are eligible. You know, I don't, as you see here, max payout. I don't always go for the max. I don't need the max. I just pay myself consistently. You know, when I can, I do, and then I just take that money, reinvest it, and buy more accounts, more accounts, more accounts. Elite Trader Funding allows you to have 20. Apex allows you to have 20. Bullinox lets you have 11, but you can only activate 3. And every time one hits the max, they let you activate an additional one. So I currently have 4. Top Step, I believe, lets you do 3 on one platform, 5 on the other. My Funded Futures lets you do 3. Take Profit lets you do 3 or 5. I mean, you can literally go all the way up to 50, 60 accounts. And again, it's just about how much money are you investing at once, and what's your risk tolerance, and so much more. So hopefully this answers some questions. A little bit of a long video. I'm going to make sure that I watch the video again myself, see if I can come up with questions that I would have had as a viewer, and answer those questions for you in video 3. As always, code BMP or Bossman Pena will get you the best offer with all these companies. And our mentorship is a one-time fee. Check us out.